How far will Hollywood go to keep control over culture? Matt Walsh's documentary just sent shockwaves through the Academy Awards, and they're all scrambling to ignore it. Guys, let's dive into this. Yo, welcome back, guys. Glad to have you. Yo, let me know what you think about the Academy totally ignoring Matt Walsh's documentary. Is this just extended adolescence? They're embarrassed. They don't want to give the award to someone that doesn't have the same cultural values as them. Or is this a larger systemic issue of how elites use their influence and power to control our cultural zeitgeist and where the Overton window moves over time? Let me know what you guys think. I'm super interested to hear what you think in the comments. Guys, we got a little video breaking things down. I thought it was great the way Tim Cass called this out last night. So let's go ahead and just take a look and see what they had to say on the podcast last night, man. Yo, guys, if you like the content, please like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell. I appreciate you guys. Let's get back into it.
Plates and he trips and he drops them. That's it. He doesn't preach anything. And they do. There's a really funny bit where everybody's seen this already. He convinces Robin DiAngelo to pay reparations to his black producer. And they show on screen how much money they paid her to do this. And it's like $15,000. And then when she hands $35 over, the number goes down. It was really well done. But they weren't saying anything overtly political. They were showing it to you and making fun of the whole scenario. I'm not surprised to see that they submitted for the Oscars, as they should, because it is one of the most successful documentaries in decades, and it was an amazing comedy. And they say that Am I Racist?, the controversial documentary that satirizes diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, failed to make the Oscar shortlist of nonfiction features today, despite earning more money at the box office than any other documentary this year by far. The film was directed by Justin Folk, featuring Matt Walsh going undercover to infiltrate DEI seminars. Yes, but they're making it seem like it was a serious documentary. His character in the film, a caricature of himself, is trying to do the work to be anti-racist. There's a Matt Walsh fight scene. Wait, you guys have seen it, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the Matt Walsh fight scene. I saw the documentary. I thought it was great. I think I still have it. What? I don't remember that fight scene at all.
I missed that.
When they reenact Jussie Smollett with Matt Walsh and he's fighting the Maka Bros.
Yes.
Now that the movie's been out, I don't mind.
Yeah, I remember that.
To spoil it, but it's unsurprising to see in Hollywood, in these institutions, they are still trying to say no. So what I'll say right now is we've had tremendous victories.
All right, he does the thing where he brings it back to himself. Yo, dude, he's absolutely right, man. He's absolutely right about this whole thing, and it's been happening for a minute. Like, there's a whole narrative with this situation. When the movie first came out, right? When the movie first came out, they tried to ignore it. They were ignored it on Rotten Tomato. Anti-woke, Am I Racist is a mini blockbuster in the documentary category, but it's mostly ignored by professional film reviewers and apparently rubbed the wrong way by its message. Who were apparently rubbed the wrong way by its message. For whatever reason, there are films that we in the entertainment media fail to notice, right? Joel Stein, for whatever reason, just out there in the ether, right? Who knows what the reason is why we ignore certain films. In the case of the documentary Am I Racist, that whatever reason is that we're liberals. You're not liberals. Dude, it's so sad that these people out there in Hollywood, these rich kids, they think they're liberals. They're not. You're not liberals, dude. Neoliberalism is authoritarianism, okay? Neoliberalism is how rich people figured out after experimenting with after researching experimental psychology, they figured out how to market authoritarianism to people that weren't the sharpest in the tool shed, okay? And neoliberalism is their technique to do it, okay? So no, you're not liberals, dude. You are just a below average intelligence human being that fell for a bunch of propaganda and rhetoric, okay? Stein covers the groupthink film critic boycott with satire and gives the movie a lukewarm review. The groupthink film critic boycott with satire. That's very interesting. Not incorrect. Not an incorrect way to characterize that. Am I Racist has grossed $9 million domestically in 10 days for Texas-based SDG releasing, making it an art buster. An art buster. Wow, that's interesting. Which is a relative blockbuster in the arty category of documentaries. It very much is one of those artsy documentaries. I love how its whole tone and vibe, it like supplants those Sundance Film Festival documentaries, right? Like, let's take that space over. Dude, no, you guys don't. look, let's take the rainbow back. You know what I mean? Like, look, yo, like I'm done with all of this seeding culture. You know, yo, I love gay people and all that. All right, I'm just saying, like, y'all don't need the rainbow, okay? Like, y'all can just dress normally. You don't need to have a flag. You can be a normal person. You don't have to have there's no straight dude flag. Straight dudes don't hang flags outside their window. Like we don't need to seed culture over to every group that just demands recognition. And then not only that, were they not only ignoring the documentary to begin with, right? Well, when they first a month ago tried to apply for the Academy Awards. Variety magazine says Daily Wire podcaster Matt Walsh is a hypocrite for daring to submit his hit documentary Am I Racist, the top grossing documentary in a decade, for the Academy Award consideration. Writer Clayton Davis said the submission of the film, which made $12.3 million at the box office, was nothing but an example of alt-right commentators making it their mission to ridicule the entertainment industry's award circuit. Okay, so dude, what this is so hypocritical, man. They apply to the Academy Awards and now they're just making fun of you, and so now your excuse for ignoring them is just the fact that they applied. They applied. This must be them trying to insult us, so now we get to ignore them. Yo, that is I can't believe, I forget what the they're taking a figure and they are misrepresenting the figure, right? They're saying, hey, Matt Walsh applied to the Academy Awards, but this application isn't genuine. He's actually attacking us and trying to make fun of us. So we're not giving him the award because his application is actually an attack. That's completely misrepresenting the intent behind the application. How about the application is, we want you to recognize where culture is moving and to validate it and say, hey, no, this is right. You guys get to take and move culture wherever you want to, and we don't have a right to try to prevent you and stop you and stifle you and control you. How about that? How about that's what it is representation of? But instead of acknowledging it for what it is, they present it as something it's not, and then they respond to what it's not. So I guess the easy one to go with that, it's another expression of a straw man. But in this context, there's another logical fallacy that's more accurate when you are taking a figure and you're misrepresenting that figure, and I would say it also falls into hasty generalization, right? Because you're saying just because they're conservative, any conservative that applies now, it's invalid. Any application from a conservative is trying to invalidate you and make fun of your culture. Like, no, man, that's not fair at all. And these manipulation mechanisms, we can't buy it. We can't buy into it. We got to call them out when they try to do it. So they applied over a month ago and they got denied, right? Now we got everybody. I'm not gonna. You probably heard this a million times from everybody, right? Everybody and their mothers covering this article because now they've been officially snubbed, right? They were ignored a month ago when they put their application in. Now it's clear they're officially snubbed. They're not even on. They weren't on the short list. They're not on the short list. They ain't on nothing, right? Okay. Well, there is something really interesting that I found at the bottom of this paragraph that nobody is covering. Okay. One more thing bears to note about Oscar documentary branch voters. They don't necessarily reward big box office yields. Apparently, this is not the only time they've done this. Case in point, in the 2018 doc branch shortlisted Won't You Be My Neighbor, the hit film about children's television pioneer Fred Rogers, directed by Morgan Neville, that made even more money than Am I Racist, collecting almost $23 million worldwide. When it came time to vote on the Oscar nominations, the doc branch shockingly snubbed the film, advancing 5 other neighbors from the shortlist. So it's not just Matt Walsh's documentary, right? They are completely subjective with who they vote, and more than likely, they are voting based on what they subjectively perceive the message of the documentary to be, right? And so in reality, we talked about this yesterday, right? This is an institution that is in our society that literally engages in cultural subversion, right? So the Academy Awards and the Oscars are, I think, what this whole situation, this narrative that we've seen play out, right? The documentary itself not being offensive and pointing out some very valuable social commentary, right? The documentary getting snubbed from its inception from the Academy Awards, right? Not even being chosen on a short list to even being snubbed, not even reviewed. Then being put into the Academy Awards, not even being chosen on a short list, right? Then being completely ignored when it came time to vote, right? Total ignoring, right? This is how they control culture. This is how they engage in cultural subversion. What you're seeing right here is the emperor with no clothes for a second, because it gives us an opportunity to point out, yo, This is not real. The Academy Awards right here, this paragraph right here to me proves it. This is not real. They choose whoever they like to tell you, you got to watch this. Dude, this whole thing is fake. Our culture is fake. The institutions, dude, how many people have watched this for years, decades, right? But it turns out it's totally fake. They choose whatever they want. Yo, man, they're lying to us. We can't continue to buy into these people's lies, man. Cultural subversion is real. I read this yesterday. Guys, look into this article, man. This stuff is real. This is happening, and then this is how they do it. This is how they do it. Academy Awards, these review systems, these institutions that they tell us how to think and what to like. This is how they control our culture. This is how they subvert our culture, guys. So anyway, that's the point I wanted to make. I thought it was a great Emperor with No Clothes moment. Yo, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Hey, if you like any of the content, I got more stuff just like it. I got really great music. Talks about all this stuff too. And it was when I was making it when I was still running around the street before I got in trouble. So if you're interested in all that, check it out, guys. Check it out. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. And I will see you on the next segment.